Hello everybody, Ian Robs here. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Ian. Oh, it's the gulping temperature. That's not good. It's like not hot where you have to sip the coffee, and it's not cold where you don't enjoy it quite as much. It's like just above warm temperature. Anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. I've had a pretty good week, I guess. Nothing too crazy really happened. Sold some tractors. For me at least, and that's in work land. That's what it is. In terms of video games, I haven't been playing a whole lot of Farm Sim this week, and that's just because there's been quite a few little random things happening in ATS, which I've been enjoying quite a bit. So I've been playing quite a bit of ATS this week, which I don't mind. I don't often get into like a mode where I want to play a lot of ATS, so I figured this week I would indulge myself a little bit and play a little bit. I did a couple runs with the special transport. They're fun, but they're difficult. It's not something I would want to do a lot of. Like I did 2 in a row the other day, and I'm like, I'm good for now. Like let's take a break from this, go back to it another time. And the reason why I say that is just because it's like one of those scenarios where you have to really take your time, and you can't just drive, so to speak. You have to really be aware of what's going on around you and be cautious of all the different things going on. So I don't know. I like them, but I wouldn't want to do them a lot. Like I think it was last weekend. I got really into ATS, and I did quite a few runs back to back to back. But they were short runs, and you can also drive at 80, or you can drive at 60 miles an hour as opposed to, or 65 miles an hour as opposed to 40. So it makes a big difference in how long the trip actually feels. Like normally a 150-mile trip isn't too long, but when you're doing 40 miles an hour, it takes a long time. It feels like, at least. So. And you got to be constantly aware of, if you make a right turn or a left turn and whatnot. I don't know if you can hear that. I was just playing Railway Empire, and I paused the game to record this, so you might be able to hear that sound. I don't know if you can or not. Maybe. We'll see. A little bit of harmonica in the background. That works out. Anyways. Yeah, so Special Transport they released. So I picked up Special Transport, bought that, and I bought the Classic Stripes DLC, which is just a paint job pack, basically, you can get for it. So... And they also released the Volvo VNL. So they did like the Volvo VNL and the Special Transport is released, pretty close to each other. So that's pretty exciting. I did a run with the VNL, the VNL 780, which is a very, very nice looking truck. They did a great job on that thing. So very excited about that. I'll probably still drive my Peterbilt because I like chrome. I like the way it looks, but the VNL is definitely a good looking truck in the game. And they have some different options on that truck as opposed to some of the other on the Peterbilts. So it's kind of interesting to see what they've done with one versus the other. So I thought that was kind of neat. So also they released in our fact sheet Friday, and they released a fact sheet on a John Deere S790, I think it was, 760, something like that. So one of the bigger John Deere combines, which is good to see. Happy to see that. And it looked like in one of the videos on the I was looking through the other day. It looked like you could see like a John Deere corn planter, which was kind of interesting. So I'd be curious to see that in action as well. They kind of did like then I saw it from the side, and you couldn't quite zoom in on it and see, but it looked like it was a corn planter from Deere. So we'll see. Not much longer now. What are we? November 10th. So we have 9 days left because, of course, they apparently they upped the date to the 19th as opposed to the 20th, apparently. And then released a release schedule as well. It looked like a rolling release schedule or something. I don't know. I'll probably won't get too crazy on day one because that's when you find all the bugs basically. So hopefully they've done all their research and all their testing to make sure there's no bugs in it. But oftentimes it's not the case, unfortunately. So. And particularly in this scenario, because what will happen is they're releasing some new game dynamics. So like in terms of the multiplayer where you can buy like parsecs of land and whatnot. So it's that kind of stuff. So that is what I suspect may cause problems if they do have any problems at all. So I don't know. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm actually pretty jazzed about. Can't believe I just said that. I'm pretty. Jeez. I'm pretty jazzed about checking it out, so we'll see how it works when it's all said and done. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. I'm genuinely excited. So they seem like they have lots of a variety of equipment. Like they have a big presence from AGCO, of course, from Fendt, Massey Ferguson, New Holland, Case. I believe that's all AGCO if memory serves. I can't remember all the all the companies and how they all own what owns what. But I believe AGCO is a pretty large chunk of what's in Farm Sim, and then Deere's in there now, so it's going to be kind of cool to see what they do for one versus the other. And of course, they have to be fair, or Focus Entertainment, or Focus Interactive, or Giant Software needs to be, you know, as fair as they can be to everybody, all the different manufacturers in the game. So we'll see. And they have what else did they do that was kind of interesting the other day? That was the most interesting thing I think I saw was the Deere S790, I think it was. I'm gonna have to double check that now. So I don't know. We'll have to see what they do with all that stuff. So I still haven't got my new computer yet. There's a bit of a strike going on here in Canada for Canada Post, so I've been reluctant to order things online right now because usually they'll ship through Canada Post if it's free shipping. So we'll have to see how that works. But I don't know. I think there might be a couple stores in the area I might be able to go to. I don't know, maybe is there? Not in this city, maybe. Not in where I live now. In my old city would have been no problem, but here I'm not so sure. So I'll take a look into that. And I haven't seen any. Let's just take a quick little peek here. If any of the let's see if the prices have fluctuated at all. I think last time I looked at it, cost of the build, oh, actually it has come down a little bit. I don't know what's on sale though. Yeah, I'm not sure what's actually on sale. Is it the Intel? I can't tell. Maybe it's the processor. Anyways, so we'll take a look. What is on sale? Gigabyte? That's the motherboard, I think maybe is on sale. What is Anyways, I'll have to go through that and see which one's which. It's funny, I put a power supply in there in my build, but I realized I have the power supply I put in there is exactly the same one I have right now. And the funny thing is, so usually I like to update the power supply at the same time updating the computer, but I realized I'm buying exactly the same one I already have. And the one I have right now comes with a 10-year, I think it's a limited warranty, so I'm like, so that was my question, like, do I keep the same one I have, or do I buy a new one? So that was my thought pattern on that, because it's the same EVGA Supernova G2 750 watt, 80 plus gold certified modular power supply. So I could just leave what I have in there and then go from there. So, and I think according to what this tells me, how many watts does this? Oops. How many watts does this pull? 304 watts apparently. So I'm just overkilling it. That's what I'm doing on that one. So it's usually how it works sometimes. So you go a little overboard. It's not a bad thing, especially when you draw quite a bit for a variety of things, or if you want to add things later on. Like I have an optical drive as well in there, and a couple extra hard drives, so having a little bit of buffer is never a bad thing. So anyways, folks, I think that'll be it for me for today. I feel like I'm just so focused on what's going on. I don't know. That'll be it for me for today. My name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, enjoy the coffee.